Utah has everything Shane Burrows needs: skiing, mountain biking, and hiking. But the one sport that really captivates him, maneuvering among the sandstone spires and towering canyons of southern Utah.
Up and over in Larry Canyon. My attraction is I like the beauty and I like the problem solving.
Burrows is a structural engineer. He also runs the website climb-utah.com, dedicated to the sport of canyoneering. In this video, he and his friends carefully inch up steep, ridged canyon walls, gracefully slide down ropes alongside 200-foot waterfalls, and trudge through waist-high water on canyon bottoms. Alone, 1,000 feet below the Earth's surface, a canyoneer like Cody Adamson, who sometimes goes solo, is miles from another human being, miles from cell phone reception. He likes that peace and silence, especially after 2 tours of duty in Iraq.
You basically travel through time because you're going to these deep slot canyons, which goes through these strata of sediment that's been deposited over millions of years. So you're going back in time, down deep in the earth, and into some really beautiful, magnificent chambers and hallways and pools and waterfalls, and all that's down there.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7 o'clock here in Canyonland, USA.
The new movie, 127 Hours, though, may break the silence.
Bluejohn Canyon. Guidebook says 4.5 hours to the big drop rappel. I aim to take 45 minutes off that.
The movie tells the true story of Aaron Ralston, who hiked alone into Utah's remote Bluejohn Canyon in 2003. 150 yards above the final rappel, an 800-pound boulder suddenly shifts, pinning his wrist to the canyon wall. Oops. Ralston, played by James Franco, spends days trying to free himself.
I have about 150 milliliters of water left, which should keep me alive till tomorrow night. I'm lucky.
It's a visceral tale of darkness, self-reliance, and survival. But woven throughout the $20 million movie are breathtaking shots of Utah's landscape, alluring, stunning, and mysterious.
I don't think we've had a movie showcase the landscape this well since John Ford was making the Westerns years ago.
Lee Von Der Esch heads up Utah's Travel Council. It's running a parallel marketing campaign using the movie's title. It asks visitors what they'd do if they had 127 hours in Utah, and then provides itineraries from snowboarding to canyoneering.
This is a huge billboard, this movie, 127 Hours for the state of Utah. When the trailer went live, Moab Travel Council reported that they were receiving hundreds of phone calls a day from people saying, hey, I want to know, can the public get to Bluejohn Canyon?
The big concern I have for the movie,
canyoneer Shane Burrows,
is it'll flood the slot canyon with beginners, novice, but I'm really worried about people getting in over their heads, calling out search and rescue, especially in the national parks. We're already kind of on their radar. If they start having search and rescues, they will shut these canyons down.
As the sport has grown, the number of accidents and fatalities has grown. Burrows himself has been trapped deep in a canyon overnight. Canyoneer Scott Card says the danger is real. Before heading out, he spends days poring over weather and radar maps.
You'll go into a canyon and you will have received some information that there are actually anchors there to rappel from, but flash floods are violent events and they can tear out any anchors that have been set up beforehand, so you've got to be prepared to create your own rappel stations, your own rappel anchors at any given time in any given slot canyon because they change with the weather.
After Ralston's accident, the canyoneering community combed over the simple mistakes he made, the rules he broke, and vigorously debated whether he was arrogant and reckless or a hero. When Ralston's book Between a Rock and a Hard Place came out, some charged that he was profiting off his recklessness. Still, many canyoneers remain awestruck by Ralston's feat. Scott Card.
Knowing how to survive that amount of time and ration and having the self-control and the presence of mind to make the decisions he made. And I got to tell you, I think the gutsiest thing he did besides removing his hand was figuring out how to rappel one-handed with a tourniquet on.
Some canyoneers say they don't want to see the movie. They don't want to contribute to the hype. Many, though, are intrigued to see what Hollywood does with Ralston's story. Shane Burrows wants to see on screen the terrain he spent a lifetime exploring and mapping. He expects, though, some Hollywood flourishes, like when Ralston's character jumps into a pristine blue pool.
Come on! Gotta come down here!
I've seen the trailer. There's a crystal blue pool. I'm not sure I've ever seen a crystal blue pool. They're usually mucky, scummy, and have a dead animal floating in them or something.
Some canyoneers hope that ultimately the movie illustrates the need for wisdom in the great outdoors. Cody Anderson.
Maybe it will, on the flip side, create some reverence for what is wild, and people will approach it with a different mentality.
Utah's canyoneers admit they'd like their beloved canyons to stay as secret as possible. But the state's 127 hours marketing plan will undoubtedly draw more tourists. And canyoneer Scott Card has some ideas.
Area, the Robbers Roost area where Bluejohn Canyon is, anywhere in southern Utah, easily 127 hours is doable.
And hopefully come out with both arms.
And both arms, both legs, and your head intact, yep.
I'm Jenny Brendine, KUER News.
Come